Hey, welcome back. This is Dr. Patricia Kolonicki talking about today's elementary edTPA task 4, specifically the learning segment. So as part of your edTPA for task 4, you have to select a learning segment. This is a unit of study in math that should be anywhere between 3 to 5 lessons. If you feel like your unit in math or the cooperating teachers unit in math is too long, you can kind of break it up, and maybe a natural breaking point would be like where a quiz would be given, or maybe after a quiz to the end of a test. So be sure, again, that it's only 3 to 5 lessons. For central focus, you should reread your definition from the edTPA Handbook's glossary. It's in the back of the math section. Your state adopted content standards, these again should be from your state standards, and for New York they are linked right there. You do not have to write the ny.ee. The annotation for it. You just need to bullet the standards. So now, for each lesson, it's really brief. I believe this document needs to be, I want to say it's 2 pages long, and that's it. So you can really not be too lengthy with this. You need to have objectives for each lesson. Obviously, that should be supporting your main goal, which is the central focus for that learning segment or the whole unit. So these should be bulleted, and it should be very brief. You probably can adjust the columns a little bit, but I wouldn't go too crazy in editing the template at all. Again, you'll be given a template for this assignment. Instructional strategies and learning tasks. Here should just be a bulleted list of what students are doing throughout the lesson. Be sure to not only note what you or your cooperating teacher are doing, but also what the students are required to do. So if it's a particular worksheet, if they're working on a certain website, if they're using resources, manipulatives, please let us know kind of what's going on in the lesson. I should be able to read the lesson and know exactly what not only you're doing, but what students are doing. You present some information, students are working in groups, then they're working on a worksheet. Just walk me through the lesson as briefly as you can. Formative and summative assessments. Again, you should know the difference between a formative assessment and a summative assessment. You will not always have summative assessments in each lesson, so it's a good idea, though. You probably should have at least one, if not 2, formative assessments throughout your lessons. These can include teacher observations. That's a type of formative assessment. Student discussion, partner work, sticky notes, entrance and exit tickets. Worksheets can also be considered formative assessments as long as you're giving your students feedback. This may also include online websites, resources, if you're using, for example, my class uses IXL, so that would be something that you would mention there as well. Lessons 4 and 5 are optional, but they may be present in a unit that you are observing being taught in your class. So again, just complete the chart the way you did, but remember, no more than 2 pages. So if you need to adjust the columns, that's fine, but the font can't be changed, and you really can't change the format of the template too much. To accompany this learning segment, remember, you need to either create or modify a formative assessment to evaluate students on these objectives. You should review the overview video where I talk a little bit about what we're looking for, but edTPA in particular, in your commentary, they are looking for you to discuss students' understanding of CPP, conceptual understanding, procedural fluency, and problem-solving strategies. So, you must have questions that reflect that type of understanding and thinking. You might want to even throw some of those in your lessons if you are in charge of organizing those lessons. But again, in my overview video, my recommendation is to allow your cooperating teacher to teach the lessons. Do this at the very beginning of your placement. Let them teach the lesson. You focus on just the assessment. So again, be sure that your assessment has questions that evaluates those 3 types of learning of mathematics for your students. And that's about wraps it up for the learning segment. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to send me an email. Looking forward to hearing from you.